this double AD carry threat. Obviously you have the mixed damage too because Corki does primarily magic. Like, what a crazy comp coming out from Fnatic. It's kind of got a bit of everything going for it.
Okay, so taking it back. This Fnatic comp is just like the Zoom comp. Like,
Going fast.
Pyke, Zilean, hecarim are literally going to be everywhere. I have no doubt that Nemesis will be running TP on that Corki unless he's really concerned about the ashe and takes the cleanse, but it's probably going to be the TP. And it feels like the adaptations that Fnatic have made with this draft is that they still want to have a lot of pressure on the map.
Level 2 or level 3, there is a very easy and obvious window where Fnatic can look to heavily attack and influence this bot lane.
Also be the factor that hecarim started jungle topside, probably reset his position after full clear there unless he wants to get a cheeky gank off onto Wunder and then reset.
Oh! They don't have heal. They don't have heal. He couldn't get away.
Wow. Huge blunder coming in from the bot lane of Fnatic there. We've been very critical of Perkz and Mickey, and then they go and 2v2 kill them. Now Caps has his eyes on a bit of a trade against Nemesis.
And Nemesis should just be able to walk away from this one. Trades back with the phosphorus bomb and those auto attacks. It's kind of the expected pattern between his Sylas and a Corki. Sylas goes in, chunks him out.
And Mickey to walk back to the wave that had been pushed back to them and pick up all of this free juicy CS. But now, Hilly, his chance to roam. Will he try to follow up this TP?
Be a great time to go in. Hylissang looking for it. Caps trying to trade onto Nemesis. The Ignite goes down. Caps flashes away, but is pulled back with Bone Skewer, and Nemesis can just auto him down. The phosphorus bomb is enough. Great roam from Hylissang.
And that was the game plan all along. They attempted it in game number 1. It didn't come to fruition. Game number 2, Hilly has a bit of a yikes moment in the lane phase, but does find his man the second time around.
And they punished the aggression from Caps as well. TP's back into lane, and Caps is like, okay.
Towards the bottom lane to make sure he doesn't miss out on too much XP. Jankos knows that he has push in the bottom lane, push in the mid lane. This is a pretty early dragon. Considering how long it took us to see the first Drake in game 1, this is a much more accelerated tempo.
It certainly is. We also have to take this opportunity to talk about the top lane. Of course, there is a Zilean up there, for those that were unaware. Usually, very common one, sometimes you would see things like Camille into Ornn as well. Like, they're champions that can just freely scale and can't be punished, and that's why you pick things like the Zilean. So its whole purpose comes later on into the game, as level 6 gets hit.
You take a little bit of a train there as Selfmade dives in with the Onslaught of Shadow and Caps dives out.
That said, the ultimate...
They should, but I understand that G2's comp with traditional front to back. It's just that this Sylas, to me, I think is going to be much harder to play the later the game goes on, just because of the big range difference.
I also think he's just the wild card there. And speaking of wild card, here comes Jankos.
Hylissang flashes forward, Hylissang no flash on him, and the show stopper will shut him down. Caps though traded, Nemesis misses the big one, goes in with a phosphorus bomb, and finds the kill.
Good stuff there from Nemesis, able to at least trade back what was a good gank from Jankos. Means that he's going to sit at 2-0-0, and this big Caps question of how does Fnatic deal with him, they found their answer. Send Hylissang into mid repeatedly, put Caps behind. They've now put Nemesis into a fantastic position on a champion that he's very comfortable on, and they're even able to set up for the Rift Tower.
Call of the Forge God coming down from Wunder. Selfmade smites for a bit of health. Jankos trying to trade into him, but Hylissang is here. Selfmade chrono shifted, brought back to life, and Wunder goes to an early grave. Fnatic and Hylissang are playing impeccably in this early game.
Yeah, and the confidence to take that fight knowing that you have chrono shift, but Mickey and Perkz have reset. They're on the way for this Herald, and Herald, I feel like it's kind of a sunk cost fallacy. It takes so long for teams to take down, and it's taken long enough that G2 may steal this one away.
Bwipo with the double bombs. Hook's gonna come out as well. Caps still stepping forward. Jankos gets the smite on the Herald. Caps misses the abduct, and the Enchanted Crystal Armor goes wide as well. Hylissang has some fancy feet on this game.
Now G2 do manage to steal the Herald away, but meanwhile Rekkles has gotten all of this free.
Zero has the package, and now they're looking for a dive bot lane as well.
Nemesis is 1,300 gold ahead of Caps right now, and Wunder is in for a world of hurt. Hylissang has the death from below. Nemesis with the package. Root's gonna land with that last embrace. Wunder still underneath the tower. No Call of the Forge God. Onslaught of Shadows used by Selfmade. Wunder's got nowhere to go. Rekkles will get the kill. Fnatic get their 4th of the game.
And the counterplay that G2 are setting up for is using the Herald onto the top side. Now there's no chrono break available for Bwipo, so he can die into this dive if G2 decide to play aggressive.
They're going to, but Bwipo with the time warp will just walk himself away. Like, this is really good stuff so far from Fnatic. 1,200 gold lead for them. They just have to be able to translate this early lead on Nemesis into a victory.
And kind of going back to what Vedi was talking about as we see the state of the early game is, I actually agree. I think that the scaling is favored towards Fnatic. The fact that you have an AP top laner like Zilean, who is so powerful if you actually do give him a lot of gold with his ultimate alone, never mind the damage that he can put out with the bombs and how he plays across with hecarim. And then hecarim, Corki, and Senna scaling, very powerful. So Jankos needs to start forcing some of these plays.
Showstopper into the arrow. No chrono shift actually just came back off, but Bwipo still decides not to use it and will fall.
So, good use of the Hex Flash there. Correct, Frost, that's what I meant. And
got you, babe.
Yeah, thank you very much. And again, they also don't need to force anything for the next Rift Herald. They can keep catching Caps off as much as they want.
Selfmade going in with the onslaught of shadows. Caps trying to trade onto him, but Selfmade just charges him down. Jankos on his way towards the bottom lane.
Ashe?
Selfmade's dead.
Yes, he is. Okay, well, that worked out better for Caps than he probably originally planned it, and he did get caught off some XP from Caps. And this wildcard factor of the Sylas, the further it's put down, the more you mitigate Caps' playmaking potential, I think is only a good thing for Fnatic.
It also does put G2, you were talking about kind of the Drake stacking that they need. There's a bit more onus on them to perform in the early game, so they really need these dragons to pay off as Caps finds Hilly.
Bone Skewer used, Phantom Undertow as well. Here comes the arrow from downtown, doesn't quite connect. Caps trying to put the damage down with the cannon barrage. He's stolen from Nemesis, but here comes Selfmade once again, and Caps, I've seen this story before. Mickey there for a little bit of help, as Caps forces Selfmade away. Second dragon of the game secured by G2. We are looking at a 21-22 minute soul for
back up into experience. As I say that though, they've now shifted it towards Nemesis so they can have pressure on this bot lane tower while it's traded for a Rift Herald on the top side for G2.
And I like that Fnatic is just conceding these objectives. They're trading elsewhere on the map. You can see that
early Soul and early Elder from G2's composition is actually really big. And now it's going to put so much more pressure on G2 to get more creative about how they're going to try to combat Fnatic before their composition runs out of steam.
Fnatic are just in such a powerful position right now. Hylissang stepping forward once again. Jankos misses the face break. Caps losing out in the 1v1 trades. He's going to pop the GLP, but Nemesis does still have the Valkyrie after using the package earlier on. And Fnatic are just continuing to keep G2 at bay, just continuing to starve them out of their own jungle, to take away these objectives, to slowly...
You know, they're good. They're feeling happy right now.
Is the boss a Greek philosopher? I didn't realize.
Hylissang once again, he's just being super obnoxious on the Pyke. We can see the double training forces. It's the classic caster. Ooh, look at those power spikes. Fnatic, again, like, they don't need to force anything, but they can start feeling a lot more comfortable about trying to force fights.
We've seen Hylissang taken down a peg or two this split. We've seen a lot of people calling for him to be taken off the team as we see an engage on Sword of Shadows, diving straight into Perkz, and Mickey just can't get away. Mickey already dead. Perkz has to flash across the wall. Jankos trying to survive. Wunder trading in the top lane as Caps joins the fray with the TP. Haymaker popped. Jankos flashes the wall as well, and Selfmade still on the chase here. Knocks Caps underneath the tower. The arrow misses. Chrono Shift coming out as well. The GLP used, but the bombs are too powerful for G2. They're retreating underneath their tower, and Rekkles isn't done with them yet. Another bomb comes out, only hits the minions, but Selfmade knocks Wunder back against the wall. The Dawning Darkness is available for Rekkles, actually already used at the start of the fight. My mistake. Jankos, though, caught out with the last embrace, and he will fall. Fnatic, these slow, drawn-out fights as they continue just to chip away at G2 are working so well.
Yep, I made my decision. The longer a fight goes on, the higher percentage chance that Fnatic will win it.
Dismantling G2 in this game.
And I have to go back to the ban phase. G2 banned Lucian, Orianna, and Thresh. Yamato was asking yesterday, what is the purpose of these Thresh bans? He doesn't have a very high opinion of the champion. And I think, as Caps gets blown up by Nemesis here.
Dodges the death from below, and Nemesis is actually going to get caught underneath the tower, tanking it up. Death from below stolen away by Caps, doesn't get the kill. It's secured instead by Perkz.
Classic caster curse as we continue there. Mickey?
Oh, Mickey's just dead. You just can't survive that as a support. The Lulu has nothing available to him to get out of that last embrace used. Bone Skewer going to hit Wunder as well, but Fnatic find a quick counter kill.
Look how fast hecarim is whenever he gets
so
sped up.
Fast.
My point was, I feel like G2 need to respect the hecarim more and possibly ban that champion because he's going back in for more.
It's cosplaying as Shadowfax this game. Chrono Shift used on Hylissang. He actually might be in a bit of a sticky situation here. Double bomb going to come out from Bwipo with the stun. Caps rooted up as well with the last embrace. The Haymaker shield's going to keep Jankos alive for the moment as Selfmade once again just dives forward. Only brings back Wunder. Now here's the TP from Nemesis. He wants to rejoin this fight. He wants a little bit of the action. He wants a little bit of the body as the last embrace once again locks up Wunder. Fnatic get another. Oh, Self, what? What is that? He is the Bast and he is now the dead.
You know what, Selfmade? Doesn't matter. That was worth. That was worth. I respect that. You know, that, like, you don't get to be that fast very often, and I think you should make full use of it whenever you can.
You miss the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
No,
you know,
but I will say this, that does mean that they don't immediately get to turn towards Baron, because if he survives
in terms of comeback potential, he's like the fallback guy, I would say, but obviously it's going to be very difficult when so many Fnatic members want to kill him.
Here goes Selfmade. It goes forward, back, just looking for the tower right now. Call of Fortune's going to get used though. Wunder looking for Selfmade, trying to catch him out. The Onslaught of Shadows is available, but the arrow hits and he gets the Onslaught just in time. Good bone skewer into double stun there from Hylissang position, but it can still work. Still just give you a little bit of a bonus. Teleport used here by Wunder in the mid lane. They want to fight over their right towards this dragon. Mid lane tower goes down. Ornament popped. I believe that is on Perkz. He now has an Infinity plus one edge. Caps dives onto Nemesis, manages to catch him out, but there's the package. It's been used. And that's big for the next team fight. Caps very low on HP, but there's a honey fruit there for him to pick it up. Nemesis going to try and put the missiles in from the side. Wunder off the top side of this fight, unable to join it, and in goes the steal, and in goes Selfmade. Dives onto the back line. Corner of the Forge being used as well. Showstopper popped on Hylissang. That's the only one to get it. Death from below doesn't quite hit Jankos. Just about surviving with another Haymaker. Bwipo comes back from the dead with the Chrono Shift, and now Caps has dived onto the back line and got the shutdown. Pops the stopwatch to keep himself alive, and Perkz can step forward. He doesn't have to worry about the horse. He doesn't have to worry about Fnatic. It's a double for Caps. Rekkles under the tower is going to fall as well, and it was an impeccable team fight from G2.
What looked like such an easy drive-by steal from
G2 on the other foot, they're on the Baron. Caps is making sure that Selfmade stays put into the mid lane. The smite was used on the dragon. He does have the smite available now, but it doesn't matter. Baron for G2, as they're suddenly back, everything was set up for their success. Really fumbling, especially with that Chrono Shift.
Ooh, hang on a second. Let's have a look at the mid lane here. G2 and Fnatic going for a bit of a split difference of approach here. 3 members of Fnatic going to move towards the bot side. Now the reset's going to come through.
They have to end on this Baron.
Oh, the arrow going to interrupt Rekkles. Will connect as well. They're going to delay. This should give G2 more than enough time to be able to break into the base. They still have the cannon minion.
They at least want the inhibitor here. They really need it from this Baron, but that cannon's going to fall soon. The Bone Skewer coming out from Hylissang hits Wunder as he pops the Bellows Breath. Rekkles has now made his way back, and G2 cannot go any further forward. Importantly, the base is not broken. The Baron buff expires in a minute, and what we said before about Fnatic still reigns true. They have a good scaling composition.
Wonder just like, I refuse to be
like,
CC.
no.
Yeah, he's going to hold that line. Ooh, Bwipo though could stun up Perkz. Does of course have, yeah, he does have the Mercurial Scimitar.
That is the turret down. Arrow's going to land on Nemesis, but we'll just force the Valkyrie away. Here's the Call of the Forge God in the mid lane. This is a 2v3 if G2 take this. Cap steals away the Onslaught of Shadows. G2, they're trying to chunk someone out.
Is there as well. Fnatic couldn't ask for a better situation. It ultimately comes down to execution. They may have called out Wunder.
They may have called out Perkz. He's much more vital of a target. The Bone Skewer coming out. Perkz with the Wild Growth. Stopwatch used. Selfmade dives onto the back line. It's all on Caps now because Perkz is down. Shut down by Nemesis. Fnatic have found the pick on the Ashe they were looking for. Now Caps gets the death from below, but no one's low. No one has a ticking health bar for him to dive in on, and Wunder's just getting chased down by the horse. You can't beat it, but it can damn well beat you as the dead horse continues to chase the Ornn through the jungle. Selfmade and Nemesis will get the kill, and Fnatic can look to break open the base.
And that is how that is supposed to go. Is of course even more gift wrapped by the fact that they found Perkz of all people, but we knew that Fnatic was stronger right now. We knew that they would have the confidence. Massive turnaround as they should look to close.
Ooh, I think it's dangerous to try and end the game right now. I think double inhib into Drake is the safest play from Fnatic because Perkz is going to be alive in 9 seconds. Of course, Wunder's still 30 seconds away, but with Jankos still up, with Caps level 17, I think this is the correct play from Fnatic.
Fnatic will agree with you, Vedius. They back away for the Mountain Soul. Will be 4 Mountain Drakes for them. Gold pretty much even, but Fnatic well and truly in the driver's seat this game. And the question for me becomes, can G2 do what Fnatic did in game 1? Can they make Fnatic sweat for it? They did a little bit in the middle of the game as the arrow connects onto Selfmade, but I'm looking to see if G2 have that strength, if they can keep Fnatic at bay for the next while, if it will take a Baron, if it will take an Elder Dragon for Fnatic win. Selfmade slowed up. Hylissang with a Ghost Water dive will look to get forward as they know Caps is in the bottom lane. They know G2 are at a man disadvantage right now. You can see the shields from the Mountain Soul as here goes Selfmade, trying to dive onto the back line. Mickey is the target, Dawning Shadow not going to be enough. The Showstopper used as well, and Perkz can open up with the ranged focus, but he's stunned. Wunder, however, has killed Selfmade. Now Caps has a perfect flank position with this TP. Hylissang skewers him, slows him, but is it going to be enough to keep Fnatic alive for the moment? Hylissang gets the stopwatch out of Caps and gets out. Fnatic only lose one, and Hylissang is hungry for blood. He's got the death below. He's not going to go. He's not going to dive forward. You can see Fnatic actually willing to re-step up into this mid lane. In the end, will back away, but Hylissang is such a nuisance, such a thorn in the side of G2.
How do we keep getting games like this? Like, it's crazy. Like, on the one hand, it is individual. Oh, hang on, Jankos.
There's a fight. Bone Skewer onto Jankos. Haymaker will shield him up. Hylissang doesn't hit the Phantom Undertow. Teleport was used as well by Bwipo. He rejoins this fight. There's a Baron available. Let's have a look at how G2 are going to reset this. Rekkles in the mid lane, Caps dives in, steals away the Chrono Shift, uses it on himself, and the bomb should proc it. Hylissang, though, dead from the death from below. Caps will flash away, and Caps survives.
Whew! Okay, so we've had some pretty intense fighting back and forth, and ultimately, here's the reality for you viewers at home. If Selfmade gets Zilean ultimate, Fnatic can win the team fight. If he doesn't, G2 win the team fight. The Zilean ultimate is so crucial to the outcome of this fight. Jankos, I think he's dead.
Gonna get slowed up. Wunder, though, coming in with the Call of the Forge God. The Haymaker shield will be big for Jankos. Bwipo actually popped the Chrono Shift on himself. However, it is a very short cooldown and should be back up.
Teleport from Caps. It was Perkz' damage that really carried that fight through, forcing Selfmade out of the fight and then fighting front to back. Successful ganks on mid lane, but how crucial he's been to the vision game for Fnatic. Constantly in G2's face, constantly getting information, and now being that split push Pyke that he loves to be.
Rekkles cleanses away. The Showstopper's going to go down. It's on Bwipo. He's going to have to Chrono Shift himself. And here comes Selfmade trying to dive onto the back line. Knocks Perkz back. The Call of the Forge God's coming out as well. Bwipo, the Chrono Shift falls off and immediately Caps dives in. He steals away the Onslaught of Shadows. He's going to dive forward, but he can't quite get across the wall. Rekkles, though, is down for the double. Meanwhile, Pyke in the bottom lane. Vedius, I've seen this before. I've seen Hylissang do this before, and it was Fnatic who took that game all the way back in spring 2019. Wunder will defend him for the moment. Fnatic forced back by G2, but Hylissang is not leaving without that inhibitor.
And that was the rule that you had, Vedius. If the Chrono Shift is used on anyone but Selfmade, G2 will win the team fight. And
good. I don't know if he wins that 1v1.
No, he just wants to be obnoxious and make it so it's hard to clear.
Oh, the TP flank.
Caps going in for the TP, but Hylissang can hook him out of it. Hylissang decides against it. Nemesis caught out with the arrow. They continue to chase on towards him, and Nemesis is dead. Elder Dragon up in 2 seconds' time. Fnatic behind in gold now, and perhaps behind the play, because Caps is actually looking for Selfmade. He's fighting off towards that blue buff. Perkz is going to start up the Elder Dragon. Hylissang continues to push in the bottom lane, and you have to feel that Fnatic had a few moments in this game where they could have wrested it out of G2's control, but G2 have yanked it back out of their hands.
And Fnatic just need to reorganize how they're going to push onto these team fights. They need to make sure that Bwipo stops getting caught out, that they can actually use the key ultimates where they want to, and now G2, probably on the back of this Elder, are going to try to force the end. Fnatic need to survive this and get another shot at how they want to run this composition.
And I asked if G2 could make Fnatic sweat. Well, I'm pretty sure they're sweating right now. Fnatic trying to defend. Minions pushing in the mid lane. There's a cannon there. It's stopped by the bomb for the moment, but Jankos still just stepping forward. Doesn't really care. The Chrono Shift taken. Bwipo's going to use it. Caps uses it on himself as well. Jankos trying to get the damage down. Bwipo's going to come back in, and Hylissang has already killed Wunder in the base. And now Bwipo has to step forward. Rekkles has to be there as well. Selfmade dives in with the stopwatch, but the Nexus towers are down. And Fnatic, from the jaws of victory, they find defeat. G2 will take game 2 in this series.
This was Fnatic's game to lose, Frost. We talked about it from start to end. Everything was going so well, from execution, from team fights. Yes, there was one bad team fight around the Drake, but it felt like that Fnatic just had everything that they needed to close out that game. But then a couple of fumbles right at the end, a couple of insane flanks from Jankos at the very end as well. And the moment G2 found a couple of picks, they just kept going and going and going. And now G2 find themselves 2-0 up in this series, and Fnatic need to find a way to come back.
I mean, the back half of that game was just mixed execution.